My name's Will, I'm from Bounce Color, and I want to show you how to use the animated elements bundle. So I've got a bunch of examples here. I've got this one here with the wrap elements, and it looks like they're wrapping around an object. Then we've got the sketch elements, which show circles, arrows, and all that sort of stuff. Then we've got the Flourish. And then I've got some other clips here which I want to show you. So where I want to start is I want to show you the folders. In any animated elements pack that you get from Bounce Color, whether it's the bundle or individual packs, you will always get 3 file types. You'll get PNG Photos, Apple ProRes plus Alpha Channel, and MP4. So the main ones we're going to be looking at is ProRes and MP4 versions. ProRes is an industry standard codec created by Apple, and it supports transparency using an alpha channel. It's got a large file size because of the lossless quality for big productions. The plus alpha in the name essentially means that the elements have a transparent background, just like in a PNG photo. The MP4 versions are a lot smaller in file size, but they don't support transparency, so that means they all have a black background. There's an easy method to removing the black background using blend modes. So blend modes work in all decent software, and I'll show you how to do that after we go over the ProRes versions. So all you need to do once you've downloaded the files and unzipped the folders is literally just drag and drop into your project. So if you really want to, you can actually just open one up, get an element, and just drag it onto your timeline. And there you go. So they are just drag and drop. As you can tell, they're just media files, videos and photos, so they just work like any other footage that you have from your camera. Just drag and drop into your timeline and it's imported, then you place it wherever you want. So once you've imported the whole bundle here, and you'll see all the packs that we have currently. So what I want to show you is how easy it is to recreate these sort of things here. So we'll start with the wrap elements. These are the most interesting ones because it makes it look like the elements are wrapping around an object. So I'll delete them. So we'll go up here and find them. So they're in the neon pack under the wraps folder. So what we used then was the wrap 7 neon version, and we used the wrap 22 for the first one. So we'll just zoom in there. So obviously it's out of place at the moment. So all we need to do is make sure it's in time. I want it to finish just before. There you go. And then now, what I want to do is just position it not too bad. Okay, that'll do for now. Then we'll move over to the next one, and then as soon as the transition happens, I want this one to appear. So maybe we'll bring it over this way. Okay. So as you see, this one's obviously quite large, and she's quite small in the frame. So we'll minimize that one. And then what we can do is drag this one around. Let's go a tad smaller. I say let's move it up a little bit more. Okay, that'll do for now. And there you have it. That's how easy it is to add the wrap elements. And as you can tell, you don't need to do any masking. They're all pre-masked and ready to drag and drop over an object, and it looks like they're wrapping around. So if I play that now. Okay, and now we'll move on to the next one. So you can see here, it's pretty straightforward. So I've basically got 4 pointing arrows here, which is the ones on this side. There is one element, circle number 6. And then I've got a standard arrow, which is this arrow up here. Then another circle, number 8. So a couple of different circles. The video is quite short, so it kind of just cuts off at the end. But every element animates in and out. So if I keep playing these videos, they will animate out. So yeah, basically you can see if I can fiddle around with these, I can move them around. I can rotate them if I want to. I can make it bigger, smaller. Any of the Apple ProRes versions here, you can just tell they're all transparent backgrounds. So there's no masking needed. You don't need to get rid of a background or anything like that. They just work straight out of the box. Then we'll go to the next one. This one's a bit more funky, but you can get a gist of it. I'll break this down a little bit more for you. It's pretty self-explanatory. The Flourish appears. All that is this Flourish element. So if I press find, that's it there. It's a simple white element. What I'll do is I'll show you how to actually build that. So we'll delete that element. I'll just go here. I'll get the Flourish element. I'll drag it into the project. Because it's quite long, I want to cut it down before. So we get the end point. And then when it appears, we'll drag that on top. Extend it to the end. And there you can just see it's dragged in. So obviously we need to make some adjustments. We'll scale that down. It's probably better if we see the end of it. Move that down a bit more. That'll do. Okay, so it looks a bit weird when it's just white. So what I've done here is, this is the way to add color onto the ProRes versions. So we're using Premiere Pro today, but anything I'm doing in here applies in any of the software. Okay, so what I've done here is, on the logo, I've used this color effect here. It's called 4-color gradient. All you have to do is just type gradient into here and you'll be able to find it. So I've added these colors. You'll get 4 points. So you'll see one here. That's one of the bright colors. You'll see one here. So what we can essentially do is just copy this, paste it straight onto the Flourish, and that's it really. Suits the theme, so you can move these around. So this suit your style. Shows a nice little gradient. And there you have it. That's how easy it is to just color up the elements. So I want to show you here some of the arrows. So as you can see, let's put them in here so it's a bit easier. Got a few different arrows here in the neon pack. I quite like this one. This one's quite cool as well. But let's go back to arrow 4. We'll just drag that in. And then go back to the effects controls, flip that around, scale it down. You can move it wherever you want. Let's place it down here for now. But yeah, essentially get the idea, don't you? You know, you can really experiment. You can literally do all sorts with these elements. Like even if I wanted to, you can add things like this. We've got a bunch of different styles. Boom, look at that. So there you have it. That's a quick walkthrough on how easy it is to use the elements. Heck, you can even do this. You can even play around, double them up. You can get some cool effects with them. You can essentially even get different styles. So the same Wrap 7, we have a few different styles of this one. We've got a fire version. So you place that above. You can copy the same effects from that to this one. Let's remove that. There you go. Simple. So I want you to know that this essentially works the exact same way in any other software. So for example, I've got DaVinci Resolve here. Got a few different things. A great friend here called Chris Whitlow, shooting some cool stuff in a gym. He's a beast. Go check him out. So yeah, I'll show you how easy it is to just drag some elements into DaVinci Resolve, for example. Go back to the pack, go to the ProRes versions. Let's see. YouTube. There you go. So you can see here all the previews. A bunch of different styles. This one's funky. Let's add this one in. It's got a bit of a darker shot. There you are. Spot on. So as you can tell, there's no masking needed. The ProRes versions just work perfectly straight out of the box. Then maybe if we go down to here, you can see these sort of styles. Bunch of different things here. You can drag a like thing in. What else have we got? Give us a thumbs up in fire. Funky. Like, subscribe, comment. all that sort of stuff. If you're a YouTuber, then these can come in super handy for you. So you can make them smaller, position them, say the bottom. That's it. So this is where I want to show you the MP4 versions. So if we go back to the folder, so go to the MP4 folder, and then we'll go down to, let's say, Sketch. Sketch is one of the favorites for everyone. So we'll go to one of the arrows. Let's just say we have a sketch arrow, straightforward sketch. You can just drag and drop into the project. There you have it. So with the MP4 versions, you do have a black background, but you do have much smaller file sizes and more compatibility. But there's an easy way to get rid of the background. So all you need to do, we do have a tutorial for this on the website as well. So if you go to the website, bouncecolor.com, and go to tutorials at the top, you'll see the how to use animated elements. And we've shown how to remove the black background from the MP4 versions in all the most popular editing software. So click on it, make sure the inspector tab's open, and then we'll go down to composite. See where it says it's got the composite mode. Click on this, and we're going to look for screen. Go down to screen, enter. And that's it. That essentially just removes the black background from the elements. So we'll go back to Premiere Pro, and I'll show you the same in Premiere Pro. So if I want to add this wrap 22 element, let's remove that. I'll go back to the folder, go down to neon, go to the wraps folder, and then we'll go for wrap 22, and then we can just drag that down there. Simple. So this is the MP4 version. As you can tell, it's got black background. All we need to do here is go to the effects controls panel. If you don't have it, you can do it through here, window, go down to effects controls, and it'll appear in one of your sections. Go to the opacity tab, and you'll see blend mode. This is generally what they're called, is blend modes. So you go to this tab, go to screen, that's the one to use. Done. That's all you need to do. So one thing you can do with the MP4 versions, you can change the color in Premiere Pro quite easily. We wouldn't want to change the color of this because it looks great as it is with the different colors. But if we go to a different version, such as Sketch, let's go to shapes and lines. Let's add a rectangle. So if we go down here, paste this up here, bring that over. Right, so what you'll see, I'll change the blend mode to screen. So now we have the element there. And you can go to here and press Tint. So the tint effect works well for coloring the MP4 versions after the blend mode's been added. So you drag this on. You just change this channel to, let's say, if I change it to, let's do a funky purple, kind of suits the theme. That's it. And what we can do is put that there, or play the video. And that's how you add color to the MP4 versions. But if you really want to do color, I'd highly recommend you just use the Apple ProRes versions because they are standalone without a background. Much easier to be more experimental, add gradients, add more colors. They're just the more industry standard codec. Now another thing to note, if your software doesn't support Apple ProRes, I'd highly recommend that you upgrade your software to something different because Apple ProRes, MP4 and PNG, they're some of the most popular codecs in the industry today, and if your software doesn't support them, then your software is quite outdated. All the best editing software out there at the moment, like Premiere Pro, Avid, DaVinci Resolve, Filmora, Final Cut Pro, they all support Apple ProRes plus Alpha Channel. They all support the latest codecs, and that's the way it should be. If the software doesn't support any of the latest codecs, and they're not updating it so they do support them, then just upgrade to like DaVinci Resolve or Premiere Pro. The most recommended software that I'd ever suggest people using, which I've used for a long time now, is Premiere Pro, is my favorite. Of course, has some glitches, it's not the greatest for color, but then I also use DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is probably one of the most up-and-coming video editing software to date. So they actually have a free version, which has all you need to edit videos. It's brilliant. So you don't actually have to pay for the software, unless you get the studio version. And one thing you should know with this, that DaVinci Resolve is actually used in many industry-level films and TV shows these days. A lot of TV shows and movies you see on the TV today are actually color graded and corrected in DaVinci Resolve. It's industry level software created by Blackmagic Design, and I couldn't recommend them enough. They've now built this software up to be a full editing suite, so you can edit your videos in here, you can do special effects in Fusion, you can do the color grading, you can do sound design, and then deliver it as a video file or onto your YouTube channel. So DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, Avid, Filmora, they're all brilliant software. They're my top 5 recommended software if you were going to go into any sort of video editing, whether you're an amateur or professional. If you don't want to spend any money, get DaVinci Resolve, 100%, hands down. But yeah, all this software that I've mentioned, they all support the latest codecs, they're constantly updated, and you'll be able to do top level video editing with all of them. I do just want to show you a bit more of what we have in the bundle. So if I open the wrap folder here, let's make these a little bit larger. So you can see throughout all these, there's a bunch of different styles that we have. Tons of wraps. And go back to the project. We have even hats and faces. We've even got social elements. So as you can see, we've got all the latest social elements. You got like Discord, Facebook, Instagram, all the favorites, you know. So for example, if we go into the Instagram one, and you'll see all the different styles we have. All sorts of different styles, cool little shine things. So I'll show you quickly. All it is this. So you can scale it down, can move it around. So if I want to put it down here, and then what you can do, you can just put your little Instagram handle here. It's perfect. So there you have it. That's how you use the Animated Elements bundle. And if you have any questions, just drop us a message on the website. We're always happy to help. We have a really fast support team, and we're all filmmakers ourselves, so we know exactly your issues. We know how to help. Yeah, enjoy the pack.